But I was going to pull an animal spirit card live with you all. But first, I just wanted to catch up. Hi. I am wearing my Minnie Mouse shirt, which I love. And I actually wore this weekend in Philly. And we went and saw the Liberty Bell, and we went to the Chinese Lantern Festival, which is like a magical portal. If you've never been to the Philadelphia Chinese Lantern Festival, you have to go. It is like so incredible. Yeah, it was just wild. And if you've been following along on my Substack, a couple weeks ago, before this weekend, I was in Seattle, Washington, and we took the ferry over to Orcas Island and San Juan Islands, and my childhood dream came true of seeing orcas in the wild. So I've always loved orcas. I thought I was going to be a marine biologist when I was younger. I'm pretty sure that's a generational thing. And yeah, so that was just a magical trip. And then I got to go to Philly. And then this coming weekend, I'm going to the Renaissance Fair. So super excited about that. And I see my beautiful friend Carolina is here. Carol, hi. I know you can't talk. You're not going to be on camera, but you can type, I'm pretty sure. So I see your hearts. But yeah, I wanted to show you and also everyone on the call. I made this bouquet. So in another lifetime, actually just 2 years ago, I got certified as a junior florist. And so I love to make bouquets. I really love this one with the Juliet roses. I think it's really, really pretty. It has eucalyptus and a few other things. So I love having fresh flowers in the home, and I hope you do too. Carol, I'm going to pull a card for you because you're here. You're here, my beautiful bestie. For anyone who hasn't read my book, CEO of Feelings, I actually have a part in there about Carol. And Carol lives in Brazil right now, but she was living in the US. She actually has US citizenship. And we actually lived together. We met each other when we were cast in Rocky Horror Show, the musical, for Halloween in 2010. So that was 15 years ago, Carol. That was 15 years ago, which means it's also our friendiversary this October, or maybe probably September, actually. So this month coming up is our 15-year friendiversary. That's wild. But yeah, Carol has always been there for me. She's an incredible person. And I write about in my book how, having those close, supportive female friendships is going to be the most important relationship you have in your life as a woman. And there were times when I just didn't have anything. And one of the times that I had nothing and I had just gone through a breakup and I didn't have anywhere to live and I didn't have anywhere to put my stuff, Carol took me in and I lived with her and all her menagerie of animals in Greenville, South Carolina. That was a fun time. But yeah. So again, female friendships, the best thing ever. And Carol, I'm going to pull an animal spirit card for you. So when I pull cards, I like to say, angels, ancestors, guides, what message do you have for Carol? And immediately one popped out. So a little lammy. You got a little lammy. There were a lot of pets. No lambs, though. No lambs at your house. There could have been, though. I feel like if you would have saw a lamb, you would have brought it in. So we'll see what the lamb animal spirit card has to say for you, my sweet friend. So let me find it here in the Animal Spirit Guidebook. They are arranged by earth, air, water, and fire signs. So lamb is of the earth. And it says you are peaceful, prophetic, and patient. The lamb is the bearer of an important message. So maybe this card has a message for you. Its contents can only be heard when a deep level of quiet has been established. Lamb energy is the honest guidance you hear from an old friend. a young child, or sometimes a surprising stranger. Though the lamb's message may channel through another person, me, I guess, this wisdom resonates with you. It will repeat and reverberate until you listen. Approach this gentle creature with utmost patience and reverence. Truth is a gift. Sit still, listen, and receive. So when you're in balance, you have a knowingness and an inner peace. When you're out of balance, you feel more quiet and timid and concerned. To bring into balance, you need meditation and listening. Well, I know you're a pretty good listener. I feel like you're always kind of listening, around, and you're always trying to help people. But I would say this lamb has a message for you about friendships, because that's what I was just talking about. So I don't know if that's like a message you need. Maybe you need more time with friends. Maybe you need time in meditation, thinking about all the wonderful things that you've done as a friend. Yeah, so I don't know, but I feel like it is like a positive message. It's a message of like love, that you're surrounded by love and gentleness, because the lamb is such a gentle creature. It's also a very powerful creature that has been used as an offering to God. And so I feel like your friendship is, you said meditation is needed. Very much for me as well. But your friendship is your offering to the world. And you are such a loving, caring person. And you always just give so generously to everybody. So give back to yourself some of the love and generosity that you so freely give the rest of us, I would say is the message for you. I didn't even I barely had time to get out of the shower and go to this live. Like, my hair is still wet. But I wanted to make this live. I wanted to do these card pulls. And I'm so glad you're here, Carol. And I was able to pull for you. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about, and this might be a message for you as well, since it said a message was coming for you. But I did a collective pull before the live started, and this is the card I pulled from the Divine Feminine deck. It's Ariadne, Mistress of the Labyrinth. So she is a Greek goddess, but she's also a human. So she very much has like a human. She was born of a woman, of a man. And she's also revered as a goddess because she was connected to the gods and she had a very important place in history. And Ariadne, it says, my soul knows the way, and the only way out is through. And OMG, have I been learning that lesson? The only way out is through. And unfortunately, that is true my entire life. I tried to take the side road, tried to take the shortcut, try to go up, try to go down, try to do any other way, but go through. And what's really interesting about the story of Ariadne is that she is the reason that the Minotaur was defeated. So there was a ritual sacrifice to the Minotaur every year. Her king father arranged it that way. It's like, why are men always doing weird shit like that? Like, just be normal. Why are we sacrificing people to a Minotaur? Anyway, so the Minotaur lived in the labyrinth, okay? And Ariadne, she came into contact and met Theseus, who Theseus came to end this ritual sacrifice, because Theseus is like, this isn't right. And sometimes it does take that one person to stand up and say, this isn't right. And then get help, get the resources they need to end whatever injustice is happening. And so Ariadne says, you know what? I'm going to help you, because I also want this to end, and I think you're so brave, and this is really important. So she gave him a special sword that can kill the Minotaur, and she gave him a red string so that he would not lose his way in the labyrinth. So he left little lines to lead him back outside of the labyrinth after he killed the Minotaur. Now, there's lots of different endings, mainly two, to this Greek story, but basically it ends. The Minotaur dies. Theseus is triumphant. Ariadne helped him. And basically, Ariadne is a symbol of divine assistance. So maybe that's the message that we're all receiving right now, is there is always a divine assistant there to help us and give us that red string to lead us back to where we need to be. And there is a step-by-step process we can go through, because the way out is through. And sometimes when you can accept that, there's a grieving period where it's like denial, anger, no, I'm not doing it that way. Like, there's going to be a period where you're not going to accept that the only way out is through, but then you'll come to acceptance. And once you do, then you can create the step-by-step process that is going to take you out of this period of difficulty, this period of injustice in your life, this period of grief, this period of anger. And Ariadne reminds us of that. And her message is courage is always rewarded. So when we seek to end an unnecessary pattern or routine that is no longer serving us, even though we might have initially created this, because we're always creating things to keep ourselves safe, maybe something's not keeping us safe anymore, right? Maybe it's keeping us stuck. It can feel really difficult when you're facing that part of yourself, but the soul always wants your freedom. And the divine is what liberates us, not confines us. So that's another way of using your intuition to know when something is right for you and when it's not right for you, because the divine feels like freedom. And there are times, though, where you're going to have to apply discipline. There's a difference between confinement and discipline. So having that discernment, knowing that, and understanding that it can feel like we can't find our way out of a situation, out of a maze, out of a labyrinth with a minotaur in front of us, but we can. We can trust that our soul knows the way, and we have the spiritual support we need, and we need to ask for it. So Theseus could have gone into that maze, and he would have been dead had it not been for Ariadne. But he asked Ariadne for help, and she also freely gave it. And that is how I feel the divine is with us. That is how I feel the universe is with us, the celestial beings, the angels, our ancestors, our, guardians, guides, whatever higher power you ascribe to. They are waiting for us to ask for their help because we have free will. And then they're happy to give us that, right? And so even like in the Christian tradition, asking Mother Mary, I always feel like, a lot of times if you grew up in Christianity, you can feel like, ugh, played out, like I don't want to get involved with praying and like that kind of thing. But it's so true. Mary is a goddess, is a guide, is divine assistance, just like any other. And so she's always waiting for us to ask for help and to ask for what we need. Doesn't mean we get what we want every single time. We get what we need to get through this and to evolve. So the question it's asking, the question this card is asking, this soul meditation, is what helps me feel supported while I'm doing my inner work? And that is for you to decide, right? Like, you also need to like take some self-sovereignty and be like, I feel most supported when I'm able to have slow, quiet mornings. Or I feel most supported when I'm able to go, work out 3 times a week. It just makes me feel better. Or I feel supported when I'm able to have quiet for like an hour at night. It's okay to ask for those things. And this card reminds us that our soul knows the way and the way out is through. Again, unfortunately. Or fortunately. Either one. But however you want to look at it, you're gonna go through it either way. So you can either fight it or you can work with the energies that are there to help you. And that's one thing that I really like too about astrology, is working with the energy that's there. So if we're going on the principle that energy is neither created nor destroyed, then energy is either going to serve you or not serve you in the moment. It's not that it's good or bad, but it can either serve you or not serve you in the moment. And I feel like astrology is a great way to see when the energy is serving you, how the energy is serving you, so you can work with it. So I also do astrology readings. I obviously do these goddess card pulls, animal spirit card pulls. All of that is a part of my coaching process with the Pink Sage, which is my business. And it's really a space for women in between. So whether you're in between relationships, in between moves, in between decisions about a relationship, or maybe even family dynamics that are difficult, I'm here to help you navigate that using the best tools possible and using the energy that is in alignment with you, right? And we're always bringing it back to us. We're always bringing our energy back to ourselves. We're referring back to ourselves. We're allowing ourselves to be our greatest guide and to be our hero who slays the Minotaur in the maze. So that is us. We have that power within us. And that's why I love doing this work. And that's why I always talk about it and why I will keep talking about it, using the tools that I have the knowledge to use in connecting to spirit and using my intuition and teaching other people how to do that as well. So I hope this was helpful. And thank you so much for joining. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to DM me here on Substack, or you can always find me on Instagram at the Pink Sage. So I love you all. I hope everyone has a good weekend.